Howdy guys, it's Joe here, and here I am today to tell you guys a few reminders for Season 3, and I guess a few tips about how you could possibly get to Diamond in Overwatch Season 3. Now, as for myself in Overwatch Season 2, I got to Diamond. In Season 1, I was about ranked like 54, 55 or something, so I did have to climb up quite a bit in rank Season 2. And yeah, I feel like these tips really helped me a lot. These are a lot of reminders, so just kind of remember this stuff when you're going into the new season, some stuff to just really think about. And with that said, let's go over what will really help you while getting into the brand new season, other than just, gameplay tip mechanics that, are exact to certain characters. The first thing I'm going to say that you probably want to do for this new season, and the first thing that I always do, is set up a plan for the new season. And within that, I'd also say, make a goal for the new season. Now, that goal could possibly be, I want to get to Diamond. That's a very good goal. That's probably why you're here in the first place. Getting to Diamond, I'd say, is a very good goal. As well from that, you probably want to make a few minor goals inside of that, being like, I want to play at least 10 hours of X hero, I want to get, X accuracy, I want to try to improve in this way or that way. You want to make a lot of goals, but I'd say the main goal that you want to make sure that you do is that you make the goal that you're going to get to a certain rank, or that you're going to try your hardest to get to a certain rank. And instead of just thinking about that goal and being like, I kind of want this goal, make sure to write it down somewhere, be it on your computer, be it on a pad that you're looking at, really be it on anything. Make sure to write it down and make sure that it's a place where you can see it often when you're on your computer, or even at other times, just to kind of remind yourself what you want to do, what you want to become, because as the famous quote says, if you don't write down a goal, it's just a wish, not a goal. So yeah, I'd say make sure to write down a goal and get ready for that. As far as something that can also kind of connect to goals, I'd say make sure to also pick a main for the brand new season, and as well with it a little bit more into that, I'd say pick 3 characters that you're going to main, 3 characters that you want to play. Now, the first character can be whoever the heck you want. It could be offense, defense, support, tank, whatever, and just get really good at them. They can be in meta, off meta, it doesn't really matter. But I'd say for your other 2 characters, for the characters that aren't your mains, I'd say probably pick meta heroes, as they take a lot less time to learn, and you'll overall do a lot better with them. While you still can play your main and still can play whoever you want, just when you're playing people that are not your main, I'd say pick meta heroes. As well with this, I'd say for your 3 heroes, pick 1 DPS, 1 tank, and 1 support. You can choose whatever one you want to main, whatever hero you want to main in there. And then, the meta heroes for the other 2. That's something that I feel like really helps and really keeps people fit into the meta, fit into the balance of the game, while still allowing themselves to play whoever they want. And of course, you could also write down some goals about what you want to do exactly with this, how much time you want to play each hero, or how good you want to get, with each certain hero. Now, to my next thing, I would say, find friends to play Overwatch with, and find decent players about your same skill level to play Overwatch with and to get good with. This is something that I feel like is especially important, and one thing that, while it does take a little bit more time, a little bit more effort than simply just playing games, I'd say it's really, really worthwhile. When you look at the top streamers, when you look at a lot of the top players, they're playing with 1 to 2 other players. And that's a thing that I would really, really recommend. A 3-stack is amazing in Overwatch right now. It pretty much puts you in the perfect, sensibilities where you have a good chance of still having decent players on your team, while you also have a good chance of the opposite team not having a 6-stack, which kind of ruins your team. So yeah, I'd say that can really help a lot. Now, as far as how you can get these friends or these teammates that you can play with, of course, if you already have people in the past that you've been playing with, just go from there. Or if they have any friends that would maybe want to play with you guys, then ask those friends. If that doesn't work, though, of course, there's also Overwatch Discords. There's a freaking ton of these things. Go around, looking for group competitive, or looking for a teammate competitive. Find someone, play quite a few games, or maybe even just, random games. Find some people that you like and add them to your list, and hope that maybe they'll, play a lot of games with you in the future. That's pretty nice. That's what I did with one of my friends, while another one of my friends I just knew for a long time. So you can really go either way, and both ways really help. As well with this, if you do have the chance, I would say try to get a friend that plays offense, a friend that plays tank, and a friend that plays support. You're going to have to be one of those people as well, as it makes your team comps, well, you really just fit into every single team comp in the game if you have, 3 people that will be flexible to play all those roles. So I'd say try to do that as well. Of course, sometimes some of your friends, it might not always work out the best, but if you do have the possibility, I'd say make sure to try to choose that. Now to my next tip, which is, of course, for yourself. Actually practice your aim with the new characters that you're bothering to learn in this new season. Now, I know a lot of people, they're thinking about this, they're like, of course I'd practice my aim, of course I'd try to get better at this, but I feel like the majority of people I talk to really just don't think about needing to practice their aim. I'd say maybe put 10-20 minutes minimum into practicing your aim every day that you're trying to rank in competitive, and even days that you're not trying to rank up. It's really nice. It makes your mouse control a lot better and just makes you a lot better at the game. Overall, I feel like this is one thing that everybody knows. Everybody knows to practice with their mouse sensitivity. Everybody knows to practice with all their characters. But especially in a new season, and especially when you're trying to learn some new heroes, I'd say definitely go into the practice range or go into some bot games, as it'll really help you improve your aim and really just make you a better player overall. Now, as far as an actual, exact tip to how you can improve your aim, other than just simply practicing, which is, very nice, I'd say change up your sensitivity to become as low as possible. And there is one really big reason, one really big benefit with this. When you have really low sensitivity, sure, you do have to move your arm a lot more. You just have to get better at moving your arm fast, I guess. But the real benefit about lowering your sensitivity is the fact that you can make like half-an-inch shots a lot easier. For an exact example, if you're playing someone like McCree or someone like Widowmaker, half an inch or even less really can make or break your shots. It can make so that you hit them or so that you don't hit them. And lowering down your sensitivity a lot, while it does of course slow down your mouse speed and makes it kind of harder to turn, it does also make you a lot more accurate. Now, as well with this, one benefit that I'd say does happen from lowering your sensitivity is the fact that it becomes a lot easier to track the opponent. When you have a very, very high sensitivity, let's say 1600 DPI and like 40, 50 sensitivity as far as, the actual sensitivity setting in Overwatch, it can become very easy to turn around quick, very easy to, shoot people generally. But when you're trying to track people, someone like Zarya, someone like Soldier, a lot of your shots just aren't going to be on the enemy. It's really kind of hard to track them. And I'd say putting your sensitivity down is one of the best things you can possibly do. Now, what do I personally recommend as far as you can do? Well, if you have a mouse that can change its DPI, I'd recommend that you change your DPI to about 800. And, of course, have the in-game sensitivity to about 8 to 4. Anywhere in between that range really kind of works pretty well. Of course, if you're playing Tracer, maybe work a little bit higher. Or if you're playing someone like McCree, maybe put it a little bit lower. Overall, that's really what I've been enjoying. Of course, some people play 400 DPI with like 4 sensitivity. I personally can't do that. It's a little bit too low for myself. But yeah, I'd recommend change it down as much as you can. And of course, just kind of look how DPI relates to sensitivity if you want to. If you don't know what your mouse is, then make sure to check that out. But generally around 8 to 4 sens is what you should be trying to aim for in the new season. And if you can get good with that, although it can be kind of awkward to get good with at the beginning, it's definitely worth your time. It'll improve your aim a lot. It does take a lot of time, but definitely worth it. Now to my next point, and this is something that I'm probably going to make a bit of a longer video about, don't play Overwatch and don't play the new season for the entire first week that it comes out. And as well with that, don't play the last week that Overwatch comes out, or I guess Season 3 comes out. Now, I do have some reasons for this. For the first season, really the skill cap of people doesn't fit very well. A lot of people are placed wrongly, and once you get into a certain rating, you'll have a lot of games where people throw, be either on your team or the enemy team, and that is really annoying, really can kind of piss you off on a brand new season, and I just recommend maybe wait about a week. As well with this, I would say definitely do not play during the last 1 or 2 weeks of the season, as you'll get a lot more trolls during these weeks. Mainly for the fact, I got this quite a bit, that there are people, higher up in the ranks, they got like 3,800, 3,900, and now, they're happy with their ranks. So a lot of people just happen to troll from there on. They'll lose a crap ton of games, and some of those games might include yourself. I got about 3 of those in Season 2, so I'd say don't play at the end of the season, and make sure not to play at the very beginning of the season. I know it can be a little bit hard, as a lot of time, you want to get pumped up, you want to start day 1, as it will give you the maximum amount of time, to play the game. But of course, you can make up that time in the future, and as well, I'd say, really, it's just not worth having to deal with all the problems that come with playing at the beginning or playing at the end. Now, on a different note, I'd also say, don't try to play super offensive in this season. Now, I see a lot of people in a lot of my games trying to get behind the enemy foes, taking out their support, sneaking around with someone like Soldier, and, trying to carry their team completely. Now, while this can work sometimes, I'd say it's very, very high risk versus reward. And that's not the thing that you always want to be doing. If you get 1-for-1 trades and then the rest of the match is a 5 versus 5 with just random people on your team and random people on the enemy team, well, you have no effect on the game. While if you try to stay alive, you try to play the best you can while staying alive, while playing safe behind your teammates, and especially behind your tanks, then you can have a lot more of effect on the game. And while you might not make as many explosive plays, the consistency can really, really help you climb up the rankings very fast. Now, next, one thing that I'd say that you really want to prepare for if you want to get to Diamond is prepare yourself to play at least 100 to 200 games. Now, of course, you won't always have to hit this mark, but I feel like the majority of people that I see in Diamond, or at least middle to high Diamond, do have this many games. They put in a lot of time, they put in a lot of effort, and they've climbed up through many, many games. Of course, a lot of people do just want to instantly climb. They want to play like 30, 40 games and get to Diamond. But for the majority of people, you will have to put in quite a few games. So just prepare yourself for that. It's really not way too bad of a thing. You just have to play a bit more Overwatch, but just do get yourself ready. And finally, I tell you, probably the most important thing for me is make the habit of playing a lot of games of Overwatch, and make the habit of going into Overwatch games every single day, or at least, the days that you can play the game. A thing that happens to a lot of players is that they decide that, in the new season they're going to play the game, but they just don't play a lot of games. They just can't get themselves to play Overwatch, can't get themselves to get into competitive matches. But I dare to you that if at the beginning of the season, if you decide that you're going to try to make the habit to yourself of playing at least 1 to 2 matches a day. Try to put in the time to get those few matches in and get yourself kind of just used to playing a few matches of Overwatch and quite a few matches of competitive. That's one of the things that I feel will help you the most in this game. If you don't play any matches of Overwatch, and if you don't get used to playing the game and, you know, playing often and getting yourself ready every single day and practicing every single day, then you probably won't improve that much and you probably won't climb that much. The habit of practicing and playing these competitive games, getting used to them, I'd say is something that's really worth your while. Put in a little bit of effort at the beginning, try to get it going throughout the season, and once that habit's ready and rolling, the rest of the games will really come easily. And there you go, those are at least my own top tips for how to get Diamond in the new season. I'm hoping I can get Diamond as fast as I possibly can, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. And of course, do not worry if you get placed a little bit lower than you were placed last season. Of course, the Overwatch team said that most people will be placed quite a bit lower than last season, so just get yourself prepared and just get ready to go on the grind. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed, as always, leave a like, comment down below your own tips, or at least what you've been using to try to climb yourself. And as always, though, have a wonderful day.